We now hit the finishing straight officially for the Rotax Max Challenge Winter Cup here at Circuito Internacional Karting Campillos. Good to get some words with Scott Marsh, who is going to be on the front row of the grid. However, the Brit will start from second on the starting grid alongside Matej Radenkovic from Belgium, and we've already had one jump out of the kart, and it looks to be one of the JTL karts that is not going any further, so we're down to 27 already. So it is Arata-san from Japan. I just wished, looks like a dad and a friend that have come along with Endo here to Karting Campillos, and wish them all the very best of luck. One of the furthest travelled competitors here this very weekend. So Radenkovic is on pole position, having amassed 25 points in the first final at just after 11:30 this morning. Scott Marsh on second position. Endo Arata alongside we'll have Dean Hugendorn from the Netherlands in row 2. Karel Stout and Wilho Atola, that's row number 3. Alexander Klugel and Thomas Rudokas, that's row 4. Rasmus Koskinen is apparently supposed to be on position 9 alongside Nikita Sinibok. Santore Laitonen due to start on row number 6 on the inside with Ismail Fuentes Luque on P12. Nikita Zhubimov and Donny Frans round out the top 7 rows. Vili Nurmi and Joao Barros, that's the 8th row with Jarmo Karinen, Tom Streli, Rodrigo Seabra, Alvaro Jimenez Artimen rounding out the top 20. Marco Plinta, Zdenek Babishek, Nicolas Garcia Diaz, Miro Leskinen, Andrei Borodin, Eric Paulsen, Yazin Nadim from Egypt, and Lorenzo Campos round out the order. And we have got Yazin Nadim running a little bit behind everybody else on the circuit. And there is one right at the back part of the field who's just going up the hill, and that looks to be a JTL racing driver. So Nadim quickly catching up to the rest of the field as they're asking them to slow. Yellow flag conditions through the rolling start phase. There's a couple of stragglers at the back. They need to get into rolling start formation. About the top 15 are in position, but the rest of the field are a little bit slow. They need to respond now. They enter into the tram lines for one final time for Micromax. I'm not too sure if this is going to be a clean start. We do go lights down and go racing. Seabra gets a really good hole shot. Slotting in behind several drivers as they go up the hill for the first time into turns 1, 2, 3. Now into turn 4, and it is side by side for 5th position. I think Karel Stout is in that place now. Up the hill they go towards the top part of the circuit. Up into turn number 8. Radenkovic leading. Scott Marsh in second place from Great Britain. And then in third is Dean Hugendorn, who has got Atola from Finland right up his back bumper. And then it looks like Arata-san is just behind the number 15. That's Thomas Rudokas. Karel Stout is now in 7th position at the minute. And just behind, I think, might be Nikita Sinibok in the number 16. This is a great battle between the number 25 of Babisek and Jimenez Artimen. That is for just at the bottom part of the top 15. It's the top 7. Now exit turn number 16 for the first time of asking. We now have just under 10 minutes plus an additional lap to go. And the battle for 4th to 7th position is being contested as Rudokas comes out of the slipstream to try and get the inside run on Atola from Finland. Arata-san from Japan, from Fukuoka Prefecture, is just behind them, as Arata-san goes up the inside and now takes the position. That's up into P5 for the Japanese driver, having got past Rudokas, going through the apex of turn 5 and then into turn 6. The Japanese driver made the move stick as the entire field circumnavigating. It's 3 abreast up at turn 8. And that's around about at the bottom part of the top 20, maybe even as there's one driver pulling to a stop on the towards the apex of turn 9. Left hand went straight up in the air, as there are plenty of drivers trying to, as there's a move being attempted by the 21, and that is of Marco Plinta on Borodin from Estonia. But Borodin still keeps the nose ahead at the moment, but Scott Marsh still trying to chase down Matej Radenkovic from Bouvin Power, representing Belgium, with 8.5 minutes on the clock remaining, plus an additional lap. So the running order at the moment is Tom Strelli has taken 12th from Jimenez Artimen from Spain. Quite a few drivers have dropped down the order. Rodrigo Seabra rounds out the top 22 behind Garcia Diaz in 21st, Borodin in 20th. Top 15 at the moment as I say it, so I'm not necessarily going to say it's in the right order when I talk about it, but there could be some changes. But I'm going to keep my eyes on the front of the field at the moment, because Scott Marsh really trying to close down on Matej Radenkovic. So it's Radenkovic leading. Marsh is in second. Hugendorn in third place. Atola from Finland. Rudokas in fifth. Stout in sixth. Arata a little bit further behind in seventh position is the Japanese driver. Sinebok eighth. Zhubimov gets past Fuentes Luque for ninth place. As I think Karel Stout has just moved up into fifth place through on Rudokas on turn number 16, but Rudokas right on the back bumper of the Belgian from PG Motorsport. And we've had a 5-second penalty that has been issued to Jarmo Karinen from Finland. As I've just seen Donny France come through, as it looks to have been Santeri Laitonen. I fear that it was the one that pulled to the side going into the approach into turn 1, as the leaders come up the hill and have gone through turn 8, as there's a good battle happening, and it is between Rudokas in 6th, Karel Stout in 5th place at the moment. We're fast approaching half time in about just over a minute's time here in the second and last final for Micromax here at the Rotax Max Challenge Winter Cup here in Andalusia. Current air temperature 19 degrees Celsius, so higher than was predicted, as Radenkovic goes ultra defensive on Marsh in the battle for the lead, as Karel Stout goes up the inside of Ilho Atola to take 4th place through turn 16 and makes it stick by the apex of 17. And in that battle he's got to chase down Hugendorn, as Rudokas is running the back bumper of Atola and could take the place through turn 1, doesn't. A little bit of bump drafting going up the hill, as we are now less than 6 minutes remaining, plus an additional lap. Top 15 at the moment: Radenkovic, Marsh, Hugendorn, Stout, Ahola, Rudokas, Arata, Sinebok, Klugel, Fuentes, Zhubimov, Strere, Barros, Jimenez, and Paulsen now hits the top 15. Seabra has now moved up into P19, as Scott Marsh again on the back bumper of Radenkovic, going down the hill into turn 10, into the left at turn 11. Just behind them, Hugendorn is being chased down by Karel Stout, who actually jumps up and down in the seat coming out of turn number 11. So in many respects, there's still quite a lot to happen over the next 5 minutes and 11 seconds, plus an additional lap. As it looks like Karel Stout's gone for 3rd. He's got it! That's a great move. Up the inside of Dean Hugendorn from the Netherlands. So Karel Stout now in 3rd place. Great work from the young Belgian. I'm sure that his mum Katrien and obviously Koen Stout will be listening, as it's definitely kicking off. Hugendorn and Rudokas trying to go up the inside of Stout going into turn 1. And it has happened. 3rd to 5th in one corner for Karel Stout, but he's still got time on his side as the youngster from Belgium. Definitely got time on his side. As he looks to the outside, tries to cut in. That could have opened the door for Atola. And then Arata-san is on the back end of the train. So that's a 5-way scrap for what is now 3rd place. My apologies there. So still really keeping things going are these Micromax drivers. And a little bit further down the order, it's still quite unsecure, let's say. As Stout up the inside of the Rudokas into turn 12 to take 4th now. As Stout then gets one fired up the inside of him in retaliation by Rudokas, as Seabra right on the back bumper now of Babisek, it looks like, I think. Or it might be Villeneuve from Finland. Villeneuve now coming under pressure from the Wolf from Portugal, who's right on the back bumper, heading down the back straightaway, as Stout now down back in 5th position as we've got a black and white flag for the 46, same number as Valentino Rossi. João Barros from Portugal has got a black and white warning flag. Also, Lorenzo Campos has absolutely flown up the order. Fellow countryman too, Rodrigo Seabra, now up into P16, as there's more changes for positions, as Arata-san has now got up into P6. He's got past Atola, I believe. And then swaps back as they go through the crest of turn 8. Down the hill, Marsh and Radenkovic are interlocked in a stalemate, as there was nearly a change for 3rd place there. I think there is. Rodokas has got up into 3rd place. Hugendorn, Stout on the back bumper. Meanwhile, Attila gets passed by Arata down into turn 12. Arata keeps to the inside line, keeps Attila out a little bit wide, who takes a tighter line going through turns 13 and 14. And the Finn will now have the slipstream on the Japanese driver, who's punching a hole in the dirty end. Attila was trying to go over to the outside. He's cut back in. Arata will get the inside run going into turn 17. Meanwhile, Scott Marsh is closing on Mateo Radenkovic in the tow with 2 minutes and 23 seconds plus an additional lap left to go. We're now on to lap 8 of this race, and Scott Marsh said he's going to try and do his level best. And if he gets second, he goes to Le Mans in late July, as again Rudokas is now passed. Rudokas has now been passed by Hugendorn. And Stout still keeping with them. But in the meantime, Arata and Atola in 7th and 6th respectively, still having their own skirmish. As, there's a little bit of contact between Karel Stout, who tried to go to the outside of Thomas Rudokas through the braking zone of turn number 10 through 11. As Stout goes back up the inside of the Rudokas to take back P4. So as Rudokas again returns the favour through turn 13, electrifying battling between our Micromax competitors, as Rodrigo Seabra is hunting down the number 30 in this. I think it's the number 30, if memory serves me correctly. That is Jimenez Artimen. So Seabra now up into P14. He's coming alongside the Spanish driver. And Campos is with his countryman. Campos bump drafting as Seabra goes up the inside and takes the position. So the Wolf goes up into P13. Atala still ahead of Arata in the battle for what is 6th position, but it's changed again. Arata-san now up ahead in 6th position and is closing on the back bumper of Karel Stout, but the leaders have got a real breakaway now, and the lead is now in the hands of Scott Marsh. Scott Marsh, with about 45 seconds on the clock, has got Mateo Radenkovic on the back foot, but in the meantime, the cumulative scores, it would be 45 points apiece as Radenkovic goes to the outside of turn 12. Hugendorn has got 3rd, nearly in the bag, but Rudokas is coming under pressure from Karel Stout. Radenkovic still trying to get past. He wants to do the double and get a definitive victory, but it will go to count back. Up the inside of the number 23, which is Tom Stredegus Zhubimov in the number 12, but Scott Marsh is going to have one more lap. I don't think they're going to make it. They're going to come across the line very, very quickly. Final lap it is. Scott Marsh goes ultra defensive, heading into turn 1 for the final time, as it's 3 abreast synchronized formation. I think that was Karel Stout trying to go up the inside of Rudokas. So still the lead is undecided at the minute. But it's still Scott Marsh. Scott Marsh from Great Britain leads the Micromax second final here at Karting Campillos. They've got a massive lead of about 3 seconds from the driver now in 3rd place. Arata-san still in 6th. I think Karel Stout still is now in, that's going to be 5th place for the Belgian. Thomas Rudokas still in 4th, but Scott Marsh takes the tight line heading into turn 12 for the final time. He's got Radenkovic charging at him as Attila goes up the inside as Arata drifts slightly wide as the back end steps out to reclaim 6th on turn number 12. As again, 12 and 23, Zhubimov and Strede battling away, and that is going to allow the driver behind, it's 3 wide into turn 13. My goodness, but round the final corner from Great Britain, Dan Horn Racing, Scott Marsh wins. That puts him and Matej Radenkovic level on points, 45 points apiece, but it's going to go down to count back. Scott Marsh, I'm not sure. It's going to be down to the cumulative totals over the race weekend, but Scott Marsh has put one up on Matej Radenkovic to win the second Micromax final. A drag race between 30 and 35. Jimenez Artimen and Garcia Diaz, both Spaniards, rounding out the top 15th and 16th positions. But Scott Marsh, with one hand in the air, celebrating as he came out of the final corner, wins the second Micromax final here. And he's punching the air. So he's either got one or two things. He's coming to the Euro Trophy in 2020 for all 3 rounds, starting at Karting Genk in 48 days' time, or he's going to Le Mans in late July. Matej Radenkovic takes second. Dean Hugendorn takes third. Thomas Dudokas takes fourth. Hugendorn will provisionally secure a 1-round entry to the Euro Trophy of his choice of Genk, Adria or PFI. Karel Stout takes fourth behind Rudokas. Atula in 6th, Arata in 7th, Sinibok, Klugel, Strele, Fuentes, Zhubimov, Siabra and Campos both make it into the top 15. 13th and 14th respectively. Jimenez Artimen rounds out the point scorers provisionally in 15th ahead of Garcia Diaz. Paulson in 17th, Barros in 18th, Nurmi, Leskinen, Babisek, Plinta, Borodin, Karinen, France, and Nadim being the last of the 26 classified winners, racers that have finished. But I think there's been a bit of celebration down in the pit lane. Please make sure that if you've completed your racing, please make sure that you head to so please your